So are we actually going to do this? Yeah, we are. Let's go. Today's guest is really just one of my favorite people. I love her energy, and if you ever get a chance to just be in her space, you're going to love her too. If you get to watch her on social media, listen to this podcast, work with her, any of the above, I find so much joy and fun whenever I hang out with you. And I'm so glad to bring her into the conversation and onto the podcast so that you can enjoy the beautiful awesomeness that is Rachel Perry.
Oh my gosh. I need to come on here every day.
I
Thank
will butter
you.
you up, babe.
I love you just the same. It's so true. Like we have the best time when we're together, and it's such a gift that I even met you. So thank you for having me
Aw,
on your show.
I'm so excited. And you were a big cheerleader of mine last year when I told you about the podcast, even though it wasn't in existence. You're like, girl, you have to do
Yes.
it.
We were in the
So
car
I know
driving from the
exactly.
airport.
Exactly. And it was just awesome to be able to be around people who are cheerleaders, who get excited for when you are excited, who also like tell you, oh man, that sucks when you're feeling down. And that's really where I know you are always that person I can reach out to anytime and just be like, I need to tell you all the things, whether it's good or bad. You're just going to be like, I'm jumping on whatever emotion bandwagon we need
Yeah,
to be on with you.
that's totally true.
which is what you need in business and business
Yeah.
friends. So, Rachel, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about you, like your background, how you got here
Yeah.
to America,
Oh my gosh.
and,
Yes. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
fast version of that,
Yeah.
and then
Like started when I was 8. No, I'm just kidding.
and then and how you came to just be in business and what you do for your business.
Okay. So, yes, I was born in England and we lived there. We moved here when I was 9 going on 10. So that's a whole thing in itself, that all
Hmm.
the lessons that I've learned being like a child who was, like I'm truly bullied because I sounded different, I looked different, all the things. But I became a teacher and I taught for 9 years and I loved it. But this was 18 years ago, but it was already getting to be like just I didn't love it anymore. If I could have just taught, it would have been great. But there were so many things, so many tests, so many,
Hmm.
all the things. So anyway, I had my son and then I was like, wait a second, now that I'm not teaching, I need to make some money. And I didn't want to tutor. I was kind of like, I'm kind of done with that part of my life right now. And so I fell into a network marketing company. Like, well, I didn't actually fall into the network marketing company, but you know what I mean.
They
I
pushed
went to
you
a
over.
party. Yeah, yeah. I was invited to a party, okay, like old school, like home party. And I was so excited to go because I wanted to show off my baby. That was the only reason I went. I didn't have any money because I was like, we are living on one income right now, and that's just not something that I can't buy anything. But anyway, at the party, the consultant was like, I started this to be a stay-at-home mom, and she had me on that hook. And so I started selling jewelry, and I did that for a while. And I really enjoyed it. But I kind of got tired of the hustle. And and by that point I had 3 kids and I was like, I was feeling just there's a hustle culture, I think, in the network marketing industry. And it just got to me. And after having 3 kids, that in itself, hello,
Yes.
is a lot. So my friend and I at the time had developed something we called it a Facebook party. So we figured out how to adapt the home party to an online party on Facebook. Because at the time, Facebook was like this newer thing. It wasn't new, but it was newer, and people were not doing Facebook parties. So we ended up creating this Facebook party and we ended up doubling our sales. Both of us doubled our sales the year that we started implementing them. And someone said to us, like a coach was, we didn't have a coach, but she had just had us as guests on her, in her training. And she was like, you have something here. You could sell it. And we were like, what? Like we could sell this? And so we decided to do it. And the business, like we sold a product for $19.99. Okay, teaching people how to party on Facebook. And we literally reached 6 figures within 1 year. And so it got to the point as it grew, the company grew and grew and grew, where we had to make the decision to leave our network marketing businesses. So we did that. And then 7 years in, I started getting this sort of itch where I was like, I think I'm being called to something else. And I felt like I was being called to be more of a coach and to really pour into network marketers who were ready for their more, right? Like their next step. And so that's what I did. And that's where I am now, 5 years later, um, helping network marketers build their backup plan so that if something happens, because this industry right now is a little, it's not a little, it is uncertain. A lot of companies are closing. A lot of companies have shifted their business models. Like a lot of network marketers, and this isn't a new thing. Like this is the industry, right?
Hmm.
Um, and so I've seen a lot of network marketers sort of freaking out, left in a lurch because they don't know what to do now, right? Their livelihood, if you will, has been like erased. And so that's what I do. I help network marketers build something of their own in addition to their network marketing businesses.
I
So
love
there
it
you
so
go.
much. I love it. I really think that MLMs got this really bad rap,
Hmm.
and network marketing, direct sales,
Yes.
all of those names are interchangeable. Things like Pampered
Yeah.
Chef, Avon, Mary Kay, they've been around for a long, long time.
Yeah.
But it it's usually like an easy entry point with a business that's already pre-built for you. So for women, it's a great business to start at. I started Pampered Chef when I had just one baby,
Yeah.
got pregnant, went on bed rest, so I had to let it go. Then when he was a little bit older, I started it up again, got pregnant.
Yeah. Who knew that Pampered
uh,
Chef was the
Whoa.
way?
My husband's like, you are not doing Pampered Chef anymore.
Hmm.
But we adopted kids instead. But
Yeah.
that was a really great
That was a
experience
different
for
company.
me. Oh, different company. It was a great experience for me
It is.
to be in that company. And when I love their products, like a lot of
Oh,
these
yeah.
companies have amazing products. I know we have had several conversations about all the cool products that you have
Oh,
had in businesses. They're just
they
fantastic.
are. They truly are amazing. And I have to say, I 100% agree with you. Had I not been a network marketer, I wouldn't have no clue. Well, there's so much personal development that happened
Hmm.
with me. I discovered my love of getting up in front of people and making them laugh. I discovered so much about myself and I truly believe it's like it's a personal development journey that you get paid to do, right? And it set me up for where I am today. So I think the industry, I think the idea, I think it's amazing. I think it's wonderful. And it really is just such a great stepping off point for so many people.
Yes. And so this episode really, we wanted to have a conversation about for those who are like, I'm in a direct marketing, direct sales business,
Hmm.
but everybody's like either giving me a hard time, saying I'm not really in a business, or I don't
Oh
know if
yeah.
can I grow to where I have these goals? How can I actually hit them without cold DMing a million
Right.
people? And one of the things we wanted to start with was like, one, if you are in an MLM and a networking business, you have a business. Let's just
Yep.
acknowledge that and don't let
Hmm.
anyone tell you you're not.
Hmm. You're a business owner, 100%. It doesn't
Hmm.
matter. I mean, we live in an age where there are so many affiliate marketers, right? Like people are representing different companies. You're doing something very similar, right?
Hmm.
And people don't bash that, right? So the network
Exactly.
marketing industry, the pyramid scheme, like argument, all the things, it's just not true. It's just not true. Have there been some companies that are shady? 100%.
Absolutely.
But there are so many um laws and things and regulations in place to make sure that doesn't happen. And there is a lot of hate. There is a lot of hate, and we just have to rise above it and like put blinders on because the people that are hating on it generally don't have a great understanding of what it is, or they've had a bad experience.
Yeah.
And that I think speaks volumes about character in a way, because I think oftentimes we deal with a lot of things that suck, right? Like where we're just really disappointed or hurt or whatever. And it's really what you choose to do with that that speaks to who you are as a like in character. So it is hard. All my students at one point or another have struggled in that area, like just hearing getting it from family members is the
I
hardest,
know it's the
right?
worst. Oh,
Yeah. And I mean, my sister still is like, I will never purchase anything from a network marketer. And I currently use this skincare and makeup that I'm obsessed with that is a network marketing company. And I'm like, I could get it to you at a discount. And she's like, nope, nope, nope. I'm like, that's dumb. That's just plain dumb. But but it is. I mean, but we just have to rise above. We just have to like put
yeah.
on blinders.
Yeah, and it's not for everybody, but any business that you do, you're going to run into that kind of situation where they have had a
100%.
bad experience or they have or have a lot of mistrust or disbelief, and that's okay. That's not your person. Move on.
Yeah.
One of the things that I love about you is your passion to say to these women who have invested a lot of time, effort, and even money into growing a business with a direct marketer, a direct sales company, but they're also feeling very nervous and
Mhm.
vulnerable about the fact that, like, sometimes overnight these companies disappear or they change their model. And even if they had built an amazing,
Mhm.
huge, you know,
Team.
multi-level
Yeah.
funnel, that all can go away so
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
So your passion right now has been to help them develop something of their own. So I would love for you
Yes.
to talk about what that looks like a high level overview
Yeah.
of like maybe somebody is like listening and they're like, I'm not in an MLM, but I've been thinking about building my own product or
Yeah.
supplementing products to what I'm already selling. I want you to talk about what that looks like in that process.
I would love to talk about that because this is my current, well, not current. This is I think everybody who is an entrepreneur who is in there should have some sort of like multiple streams of income, right? So
Hmm.
like if you are a coach or you have your own business or you are whatever it is, like be an affiliate for some other things as well so that you have some streams of income coming in. If you're a network marketer, um, chances are you are, well, here's the first thing that I'm going to tell everyone to do because I just did this and it blew my mind. So, and this is because Lonnie encouraged me to do this. This is, you guys, listen, okay, this is so good and so actionable. So, just to give you a little backstory, I am sort of in this process where my husband he's a government contractor. And with all the changes happening in the federal government, it's projects are ending and things are happening and it's harder to get jobs. And so we're kind of in this space where it's like, oh my gosh, like maybe I need to go and get a full-time job. And I thought, I don't have anything that I'm marketable. I have nothing. I have nothing. I literally just used to teach and then I raised my kids and I had some small businesses here and there, but I was so wrong. I made a list of things that I can do. Lonnie was like,
Hmm.
make a list of everything that you can do. And then I put it into Chat GPT, my best friend. Okay. And she is a she. Okay. She put like sent back to me all the things that I am marketable at, right? Like I put in things like I can create reels or I can, all the things. And she and I like she's been like my business assistant for a little while. So she has a lot of knowledge of the things that I'm creating and all the things. And the amount of skills I have blew me away. And they're all true. It's just we lose focus of what we can do and what we are good at, right? And what we have experience doing. And I'm going to tell you, as women, we wear so many hats, right? We have so many skills, but we get lost in those hats and we get lost in our lives and our kids' lives and our husband, whatever, all the other people's lives, right? Than our own. And we forget that what we're really good at or what we have skills to do. So I encourage you to do something like that just to refresh your memory on what you really are good at. And if you are a network marketer, my friend, you already have so many skills because you are building a business. We said that at the beginning of this podcast. Like you are a business owner and you have skills already that you could put into something else. So, something that I teach my girls to do is to come up with a digital offer, if you will, like something that you could create. Maybe it's a PDF, maybe it's a mini course, maybe it's a guide, maybe it's a checklist, whatever it is that you could potentially sell. Now, this will be like a low ticket item, right? Like,
Hmm.
so you're not going to be charging hundreds of dollars for this, but it's just something that you can create that goes along with what your audience is doing right now. Like it just makes sense that you can start building up. Because what will happen, and what happened to me is that you start selling this product for $19 or $9 or $10 or whatever it is, and then it starts growing. And then you're like, oh, you can start getting feedback like this really helped me. This changed things. This, oh my gosh, I would love to know more. And then you can create more, you can scale it. And that's happening for you. And you can get it all automated. It's happening for you in the background, but it's yours. So if something were to happen, this just happened a couple of weeks ago to a large company in Canada. They closed their doors, didn't tell anyone. They couldn't get on the website. All of a sudden, everything shut down. They couldn't, like, leaders had no idea, lost their paychecks. Like it was terrible the way it went down. They had nothing. A lot of them had nothing. But if you already have created this little, like this other, it's kind of like, people refer to your network marketing company as like your side gig. Well, like create a side gig for your network marketing, right? It doesn't have to be a lot, but if it's something of yours that you own, it's your brand, it's yours. No one can take that away. And then you're able to not only, like I said, start bringing in money now to supplement what you're already making, but you have this place where you can start growing in a different area. That's what I would suggest. I really think everyone should do something like that.
Yes, absolutely. And what's surprising is when you take the time to really sit and think, like, what are my skills? What do people ask me all the time for advice
Yes.
for
Yes.
that isn't that product, but it can go coincide with it or aligns with it, or
Yep.
maybe it's even like a different bucket of the things that I talk about. So,
Yeah.
for instance, when I was doing Pampered Chef, I was also doing my mom blog and I started putting printables up. So like it made sense for
Yep.
me to showcase the Pampered Chef items I was using in my recipes. And then I had little kids in the photo who were doing activities that I made online and turned them into
Yes.
printables. And
Yep.
so simple. It's like mind-blowingly simple,
Yeah.
but it's just something that goes along with what you already are naturally and organically doing
Yes.
in the first place.
Yep. And that's my biggest, like, that's what I teach, right? I'm like, you don't need to add more hustle to your plate. You're
No,
already
girl.
hustling in this industry, right? It's already such a hustle, hustle, hustle. Let's make it simple. Let's make it's easy, right? I mean, it's you have to do the work, but it's simple. And I just think that is can be so powerful and honestly life-changing. And it
Hmm.
really does show you and I want to touch back. Sorry, I want to go back to what you were saying if you don't mind. I'm
Yes.
like, let me just guide this conversation. I didn't mean to do that. But you had talked about the things that we're good at. And I talk a lot about that too, because I think it's so important to brand yourself, to create your own personal brand. Who are you? And a lot of that, your brand is your like what makes you you and who are you and how do you show up and how are people how do they feel when they're around you? What is their experience with you? All these things. And a lot of that and a lot of figuring that out is knowing what your superpowers are. We all have superpowers. We all have superpowers. We all have places that we shine. We all have unique strengths. And when you lean into that, everything else really falls into place. And I think for me, that was, discovering my superpowers happened when I was in network marketing, really discovering who I was. And so I just think it's such a great opportunity. So if you are in network marketing or MLM or whatever you want to call it, um, I do think this is be open to learning more about yourself because it truly is such an incredible journey.
I love that so much. And especially when there's a saturated market, which it is
Yeah.
when you are working in these kinds of companies, or maybe you're a coach or a virtual assistant if you're listening to this
Hmm.
and you're like, okay, there's a lot of us out there. So how
Hmm.
do you stand out? Why would somebody
Mm.
hire you or work with you or buy from you versus the person next door?
Yes.
You know, and
Yes.
it really comes down to your personality and
Yeah.
like you just pointed out, branding yourself, showcase you. I love the Rachel energy. We we have a friend group
Yes.
who's like, I love me some Rachel energy. And one of these days we're gonna get on stage together and just have a party.
Oh, it will
That's
be
like
the
a
best day
dream
ever.
goals.
Oh,
And really you have that down and you just let yourself shine. And I know sometimes it feels very vulnerable to you. We've had that conversation. You're
yeah.
like, oh no,
Yeah.
I was extra open.
100%. That happened at the last event that we were at. Yeah, I am, and I think it's so important to be authentic, right? Now, in my case, I don't know how to not be authentic. Like it's just very natural for me, which is a superpower, right? I just do it very naturally. But there are times when I have you ever, I don't know if anyone listening is like an oversharer. Like sometimes you're like, oh, wait, I just totally shared way too much. Like, why did I just do that? And that happened at this event and I was just really vulnerable. I was really open because I wanted to be vulnerable. I wanted to share. I wanted
Yeah.
to add value. And then all of a sudden I was like, whoa, that was really vulnerable. Like I did not, I may have shed a few tears after, but it was good. It was a growth experience. It was a release. It was great. But yes,
Yeah,
you're
those
going to get the real
vulnerability
Rachel.
hangover. I call them vulnerability
You
hangovers.
did. Yes.
I was
Yes.
like, you'll be
Yes.
okay. And it was a safe place to share,
Hmm.
so it's not
Yeah.
a unsafe room.
Yes.
But
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah.
I will say like you have to lean into who you are. And if you haven't done that yet, in regardless of
Hmm.
what business you have, if you've started from scratch and you have your own products and services or you're working with a company, you really need to brand yourself. So,
Yeah.
branding yourself is the first step. And when you brand yourself, you really start to pay attention to like what am I good at? What am I known
Yeah.
for? What are the things that I can really share and like seems easy and no-brainer to me and everybody's like, "How did you do that? How do you
Yes.
get that?" Like with you coming up with that product to how to party on Facebook, I'm
Yeah.
sure you guys probably thought like, well, we just did. What do you
We were
mean?
like, I mean, we can just tell you, like, we're not, why would we charge you for that? Like, it just works for us. But exactly, like, and it's the things that you just are so naturally good at. I had a student, we were talking about what her superpowers, it was during a VIP day. And she's like, I don't know if I have any superpowers. And then we started this conversation. I was like, well, you definitely do. But we just started talking. And at one point, she goes, well, it wasn't in response to what is your superpower. It was just through conversation. She said, well, I organize. Like, I don't even think about it. And I'm able to organize things really easily.
Mm,
And I'm like, girl, that is a superpower. If you don't even think about it, that is a sign that it is a superpower. Like if there are things that you do and you do well and you just do them, that's a superpower, right? Like what and like you said, Lonnie, what do people say about you? What do people ask you to do? Now, you might be really good at things and they might not be your zone of genius, meaning that it's what lights you up and it's where you could just be forever. But it's really great to figure out where you shine. And you do shine. Like
hmm.
I don't want anyone thinking I don't have anything.
Yeah,
I don't think I have anywhere to, no, no, no. That's not true. That's a
that's right.
lie.
That's a lie you're telling yourself, and you're staying in that protective space, and we get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But being able to say and have that moment to look at yourself, oh, there's a lot that I could do. There's a lot that I could leverage for cash. There's a lot of skills that I have that people want to know, like, how do you do that? What's your process? How are
Yeah.
you so like when I was like in full motherhood mode with my six little kids,
Yeah.
people would say to me all the time, I don't know how you do it. So I literally turned around and wrote an article of like, I don't do it.
Yes.
Like, I don't know what this it is that you all think I'm doing, but
Yeah.
I'm just surviving. And it was, and then I put in there, like, here's my routine and here's the thing. And people gave me such good feedback. I was like, I
I
need to
bet.
turn this into something.
Yes. Yes.
And
Exactly.
that's what the power of having a bird's eye view of someone coming into your life to say, "Hey, let's sit down and let's dive in." Like that student you just talked about, she was like, "I got
Yeah.
nothing." And you're like, "Girl,
Yeah.
we're gonna find it. We're gonna go
Yes.
hunting together and uncover
Yes.
it." And I am sure that you found some really, really treasureful nuggets that she could do
Oh,
with those organizing skills and
yes.
all of that.
Yes. So many. And she was me, and she's doing great now. And actually, her company closed as well. But
Wow.
she had created something, her backup plan. And so she was able to lean on that while she started to sort of, because she did go back into another network marketing company. A lot of people don't, but a lot of people do. But she had that backup plan.
And that's so important to have
Mhm.
the options. And that's why being diverse as a business owner, whether
Yeah.
you do, have a network marketing company on the side and you're doing this business over here, or vice versa, or something
Yep.
else, or a low ticket offer, a high ticket offer, a
Yes.
digital product and a service, a group program and a one-on-one. Having many different offers is a really good thing. I know it's out there and it gets said all the time, but millionaires and billionaires have 7+ streams of income coming in. And because they're diversified, they're not trusting that this one thing will always provide me the way it's always provided me and nothing's going to change because things change. Like
Hmm.
you said in the very beginning, your husband's job is like, okay, what are
Yeah.
we doing here? I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's vulnerability. And even,
Yep.
even with a 9 to 5 job, there's no set in
Yeah.
stone, you're safe.
No, there isn't. There's no guarantee. That I think that's what I'm learning now in my life is, and it's so interesting how it's all sort of happening at the same time. Like, as in the direct sales industry and the network marketing industry, things seem a little bit more uncertain than they have, and then in my life, things seem very uncertain. And I think it's a theme. And I didn't plan on this theme this year, and I don't know how I feel about this theme, but but it is what it is, and we're gonna roll with it. But I think that's just the point, right? Is like things are uncertain. So how can we create our own security? What can we do to build even more security than maybe we have now, right? Like what can we do to what's our plan B? What's our backup plan? What's our, just to have that like security. I think that's huge.
It's so big. I really believe that we as women, business, and especially as business owners, we need two things. We need security and we need support. We need to be able to stabilize that floor that we're standing on. Because if it's not secure, if our home is not like safe
Right.
and secure, we feel vulnerable and
Yeah.
it's scary. So
Yeah.
bringing that nervous system regulation, having that stability, that security, that's number one. And then the second thing is to get support. We thrive in groups of women. We're not meant to be alone. We really
No.
aren't. And the village is missing. So it's
Yeah.
time to go and purposely put people into your village, mentors, community, and say, I need you to see me and I want to be seen and I want to listen and learn and grow with you. And
Yeah.
that's what I love about you is you're so good at seeing people and not allowing them to hide and
Aw,
say
that's so
like
thanks.
it's true. I've seen you do it and you do it with me. You're like, no, 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 don't hide. You need to shine. Let that out. And you give that support to someone so that they can build even more security. So
Yeah.
if somebody's listening to this and they're like, all right, I am in a network marketing or direct sales
Hmm.
business right now, and I've been thinking about having a backup plan or
Hmm.
diversifying. How can I learn more about branding myself, about figuring out what I'm good at? Because like right now the belief is low.
It is. It is. It is. Okay. So, well, first of all, I'm going to tell you to DM me. Okay. On
Love it.
Instagram. Okay. I am, because here's the thing. I love having conversations with you guys and I want to help. And so DM me at Rachel. I'm going to give you an actionable thing. And just after this, DM me at Rachel A. Perry on Instagram. Okay. And just tell me you listen to this podcast and that you've been thinking about something more, whatever. Just, it doesn't even matter. Just say,
Yeah,
hey,
just
I was listening to the
DM
podcast.
her the word
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
She'll know.
Yes. Yes. Perfect. Actually, perfection. But yeah, I think the first step for you today after DMing me, okay, is I want you to just really think about where you shine. What is it that, and if you need Chat GPT to help you, like she will, okay, she
Hmm.
will help you.
Hmm.
You have to give her a little data, you have to give her a little information first, but Think about where you shine. What makes you different? And that used to be the hardest thing for me as a business owner. I was like, there's nothing that makes me different. Like I don't stand out. I thought that. I was like, I don't think there is anything different. But that's such a fallacy, right? Because we are all our own people. My daughter, my 16-year-old daughter came to me the other day and she was like, Mom, I don't think I'm special or something like that. And I was like, Caroline, there's only one Caroline Grace Perry. Like there's, I mean, actually there might be more than one, but I was like, there I was like, there's only one you. There's only one you. And you have these amazing skills and put together with your personality and who you are, like that makes you you. And it's the same for all of you listening. You have so many things that make you special, make you different, make you stand out. And I'm going to really encourage you to lean into those today and moving forward so that you can start stepping into your more and
Mm,
stepping into your power because we have so much power. And I think so often, like I said before, we get overwhelmed with all the hats that we wear, and especially when we're building businesses, right? And we're also like helping other people, right, in our lives. We can get lost. And so I'm just going to really encourage you to just step into your power, step into your more.
I love that so much. And I think this is just a really great way to wrap up and say, you are unique, amazing, and you have skills that you can leverage for more cash flow, whether
Yeah,
you're, well, no matter what business you're in. And it's time. It's time to stand
it
up and
is.
be you. It's time to brand
Yeah.
yourself. It's time to reveal the quirky, unique person that you
Yes.
are. And then
Yes.
also make a backup plan, make yourself feel more security and get the support that you need to do that, whether that's working with Rachel, brainstorming with her. She has some free events coming up in March.
Hmm.
Definitely go take advantage of them. Follow her on social media, come into the society, ask questions. I have free workshops. There's resources. We're here to support you. We
Yes.
want to see you succeed, whether you work with us or not, because we know how game changer it is to be inspired by women who are willing to not hide. And we want you
Yeah.
to do the same for yourself.
Yeah. Yes. I love
So
that so
good.
much.
So good. Thank you, Rachel, for coming and sharing your wisdom and being vulnerable with us.
Yeah, always, always. I loved it. So we definitely need to do this again. You need to come on my podcast next.
Okay, it's a done deal. So, all
Okay.
right, my friends. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week on another episode. Thanks for actually joining us today. I hope it inspired you to actually take the action to step into the empowered CEO that you are and getting more of the results that you want. Before you go, I have a quick favor. Leave us a review and take a screenshot of this episode and share it with your friends and on your favorite social media channels. Don't forget to tag us, the podcast, and Lonnie J. Jackson. And we'll see you next week on another episode.